Okay, so we can. So you may ask. Yes. You're sharing. Okay. First thing, I think because some student asked me to post a video, a record, and what I have I didn't upload to Zoom, but I try to do it like first I upload to the YouTube. So I try to, but they limited me to like upload how many videos per day. So I'm still uploading all the videos. So I create all the class. If you're interested, you can sometime if you are overlapped, then you can just go to my channel. You can input like yoga channel. It's my name. Then you can able to find it. I have my icon, so you will see. Okay, so right now I'm still uploading. So maybe only the first week, 2 weeks of the recordings. So I will try to keep on live uploading all the videos. So if you want to check, some of them I miss it, but I know some students they do record like from the Zoom. So I will try to ask them to like share it to me, then I can post it.
Just every class.
Yeah, all the yeah.
You personally recording them. This is just a class.
The class like record from here from the Zoom. Yeah. So all this, yeah. So maybe we'll miss part of it because when I'm talking, so only stay on the PowerPoint. So because when I teach, I didn't really like only stay on the PowerPoint. So it will mix, but sometimes if you need to refer to the screen or like some of the commands you need to use, then you can refer to the follow some steps. Then you can you can follow it. But for some certain content, because we do overlap in the class, so if you can check, if in case you miss it. So here's the part of it. But once I finish, I will also make an announcement to share the YouTube channel link. So I will give this one. Yeah, actually just input my name and that's it. Then you can check it. Okay. So then we're back to our class. If you still remember, last week in the lab we call it the IMA, that means the file permission and directory. So I let you to try to create part of your assignment. You need to create the user account. So I give you all the instructions. So I think it's pretty easy, and it's not if you say if you like ambiguous, if you don't know like if I need to change the permission of the folder, actually it depends on you. So you can change your own directory, or like you can change the folder you modify. It doesn't matter. Just you shows me okay, you're able to create a user account, and then you set the limitation like okay, file permission to a certain file, then it's okay. If we get it, okay. And then today we will go into deeper, like last time I talked about the number represent. Then we really say, okay, in this time we have some exercise really calculate or like convert those numbers or permission like from numeric or like to symbolic. So it's the meaning. So we talk about what's the IAM. So IAM is the identity and access management. So it's a short term I refer to the framework of the policy and technology ensure the right individuals access the right resources at the right time for the right reason. So lots of reasons, but just remember IAM. So just like what we are doing is part of that we are doing is the file permission and then change the access right. So we will including like try to verify the user identity, also granting the permission to the user. That's how we're doing. Okay. So that's we know. As a basic, we covered last time, we know or like in the practice, we have the read, write, and execute. So for read, we are allowed to reading the file and allows like modifying the file and then allow to execute the file. So if it's a script or binary, then you may confuse like sometimes you are able, so if anybody can tell if I only put like 400, like only read or read and execute. So what is the differences? Or like anybody can tell what's the differences between read and execute? Like based on your, like you did, if you grant the permission for 400 or like 401, that means 5. Then what's the differences? 4 and 5. Anybody try to?
Read is just the user can see like what the file, like the text in the file image, or like, you know.
You see something
Yeah,
exist
yeah.
over there, there's something over there.
It's-
Okay.
And then execute is actually being able to run the program, or if it's the folder, then if you can only read the folder, then you can see that it's there, but to execute the folder is to actually be able to like go into.
Open it, okay, you can open the folder. So here's the differences. So all this like based on the practice. Even I tell you, okay, so put the read or execute, but if you didn't really try, because like all of you already have your instance, so you can like try, okay, if you, also in the lab, it's like, actually you won't damage your server. It doesn't matter, you can create a new one. So I say like, feel free to change all the permission and test by yourself. Okay, yeah, of course, in the lecture, in the lab, I can share or like show. Sometimes I didn't really cover it, but it's letting yourself to like explore more. Like, okay, so what's the difference between read and write? That maybe I will cover in the lab, but sometimes you can check it by yourself. Okay, and we also know the called the permission categories. That means all the groups. So we know the owner, group, and others. So you will see pretty common, we say maybe represented by O. That means like others. Maybe in Windows system, we also cover, we have different name, or G is the group, O, that means the we have another represent the owner, then you will see. Okay. And one is called the numeric permission. So numeric is representing the 3-digit optical number. So the first digit is representing the owner permission. And second one is group, and the third one is the others. That means the global. Sometimes I call it global, or like we call it other. That means like anybody, as I said. So, and this the number. Remember, always fix the same. So read is number 4, write is number 2, and execute is 1. So when we adding them together, total is 7. So what is the highest privilege? 7. Okay, so if including user, group, and others, so will be 7. Yes. So when you see the privilege or sometimes we grant is 7 sevens. 7, that means it have a highest privilege and allow everybody. When you have others, that means the global have like read, write, execute, then they can do anything. So from here, if you see, we get that it's like 755. If you don't look at it. So what's the permission? Anybody? If I hide the back of it. So what's the 755?
The first one.
Yeah, 7.
Read, write, and execute. The second one.
For second one, first one is for which type of category?
That was the user.
Yes, user. So we have read, write, execute, and then 5.
So the group can read and execute. And then the third one, whichever one it was, can also read and execute.
Yes, correct. So try to like, actually once you understand, then you'll say, okay, we know. If we look at it, 755, this represent, okay. So you know, if I'm the user, like maybe I sign in, or like I connect, let's say I'm using SSH connect to the server, and then I look at the permission. Why sometimes I couldn't open it, or like we get the permission denied, then we can look at it. Okay, so maybe it only set the maybe 500. So it only like user read will be read and execute only. So if I under group, I'm not belongs to this group, then I'm not allowed to do that. So I need to change the permission, or okay, maybe this file is only limited to certain process or a group to execute it. Then we need to change it. So, or like we need to use sudo to grant the admin right to read it or open it.
What's
So
the third
others.
number? That's others. So what is?
You say third?
Yeah, the third.
The third one is called others. Others, yeah. And sometimes I call it global. Yeah. So if you hear the term I call it global or others, that means most of the time we look at user and group because like most of the time they belongs to your own device, like your notebook device user account, or group would be you create the groups, but global can be like from other account they access it, or they are not belongs to kind of like the ideas like guest account, just thinking, or like when they access from the WAN, then access from the WAN to your server, then maybe others. So they are not belongs, like kind of like if they are not belongs to the user, they're not belongs to the group. So what can they do? So sometimes I say it's others that they call others, or I say it's global, just like anybody, like except to the specific user or specific group. Then there's like in general, yeah, what kind of rights they do have.
And I think that we talked about before, but the
Mhm.
user will override the group permissions, right? So like
User
if a
can.
user is part of a group
Mhm.
and that group has just read and execute, but then you can give that specific user the right ability as well.
Yes, yeah. So either way would be fine. So normally when we declare, yeah. So if in the practice, you know, for the specific file, we can okay, set a permission to specific user and belongs to which group also, but you can allow to another user to read this file, like have a special permission. So it's okay. We can do it this way, yeah. And because but for good habit, sometimes like for user own this file, we normally only have like one owner, like the user who owns this file, but we have multiple groups to access it, so allow it. So it's the idea. Actually, in general, not only the file permission, but in the working place, and we set the resources. Sometimes like, okay, I have a project or I have a task, which is assigned by me or like it belongs to me. But under certain group, let's say I'm one of the developers, so I create a task like I need to write this function. But for this function, maybe my manager or like under my same department or my team, they have a right to read it, right? So we need to set all this like, so that belongs to the group, they're allowed to access it. But or you can assign the user to multiple groups, so you can access to different file or directory. That's how we work. And here will be extend a little bit. If you see if we writing in here like RWX, so it will represent like read, write, execute. And if you see the right here, that means there's a hyphen right here middle, that means there's no write. So it will be read and execute. So if let's say I change to 744, how does it look like for the group and others? Yeah, yes, correct. So they will be look like this. Okay. And that's what you learn like from the lab. Then this time we will increase the difficulty. Actually, we not only have like 9 digits or like 9 symbolic 9 letters. Actually, we have one more. In the beginning, we have one is called special. That one special is it can, so that's why we can extend to 10-digit format, or for the letter, we have like one more letter. So we can be like 4 letters. Okay, so the one special permission extend on is like what it's doing. So actually for that special permission, including the called the set UID, set group ID and sticky bit. So what does that mean? If I doing assignment quiz like for requirement, I would let you know. So I would like to know, okay, we need to set the user ID, or like we need to set the group ID. Then you should know, okay, we need to change the specific format. Okay, so when we look at it, the same idea is that allow a file to run with the permission of its owner. So if I set the special digit 4 in the beginning, like 4744, when I change it, that means that this file is only allowed to run with the owner only. Okay, so if I say to group ID, So I only allow the file to run with the permission, but it's good. So if I'm not like within under this group, it's not allowed to do it. Okay, so specific under, okay. And then the sticky bit, so it be 1, so ensure there's only the file's owner can delete the file. Okay, so if I want to, if I'm not belongs to the, if let's say I want to delete a file, but I'm not the owner, that means not belongs to it. But even I have a right to read, write, execute, right? Let's say I belongs to the group, but when you say it to the bit 1, sticky bit, even though I belongs to the group, suppose I have a right to delete it, but when I add a sticky bit, that I'm not allowed to delete it, even though I'm under the group, I have a permission. So here's the special one we're going to do. Then how does it look like? Actually, when we add the sticky bit, one more bit in the front, actually we will change the special letter in behind. So let's say right here, I have the example. It looks like slightly different from what we have. So what anybody can tell the differences right here. Compare with like, what's the change or some new letters, something looks not the same.
RWS.
Yes, okay, first one, get it. Okay, yes. So here's the two difference. So if we look at the symbolic one, so that means that if you look, it's not RWX, but it's RWS. So that one S in behind, so it represent we'll get the set UID, set group ID, and the sticky bit right here. So we will change the in the beginning, the read write execute. So when we change to S, okay, so we have the set UID, and the group we didn't change anything. For the R, we will get the sticky bit, so it's T. Just remember with a T. Okay. Bill, for the advanced, I'm not really asking, but you just need to know. For the details, I still will go through with you. But today we are not really focused on this part. And let's say the RWS, and then with the read and execute, and then read execute with the sticky bit. So the UID will be 4, and set group ID will be 1. So you know. So here is doing the same. So 755, and then in the beginning, on the top, because the read write the get UID, if I change to it, then it would be 4. So that's how it represent. Okay. And others the comments we are used to check the permission. You should know we have the ls the -l. So this one is the L. So we list all the permission. Like if you check from your server last time, I think you already look at it. So you will see the file, what's the written by the file permission, also which group does it belongs to. And actually more than that, if you add A, so it will show the root directory. So it also show the root directory, what's the permission. Okay, so if you want to know, so it's like -LA. And this one, chmod, this one is they change the mode of the file. So right now we most of the time we just work on the 3-digit. So we barely change it like 4 digits. So if you see the format, so right now it's like we have a set UID, so it will be RWS, this one. And to the file, the symbolic, if you see like U represent is the user. So when you see like U and then group is using G, O is others, and A is all, so all the group. And when we do the permission, sometimes we will get the permission using the RWX, or sometimes we will using number. And also you will see some, if you look at some online document, like asking to get the permission, you'll see some like +, -, and equal sign. So what are they represent? Actually, for the operation, assign the permission, we can use all these operators to assign. So we can see, okay, let's say we need to chmod the file with the U+R. So what's this like? What's the meaning like U plus R? So the first one, U is representing the user. R is, you know, it's a read. And what's plus? If you don't look at the definition, just guess. Or like if you look at it, so what's doing? What's U plus R?
Given the user readability to the file.
Yes, that means I add the read permission. So it will be R if you only get the R. And if I give the second one is like G minus W. I remove the white permission from the group. Okay, so this one, so it's minus. So we can use all this permission operator to change the file permission. So if you don't, of course, I can just like redefine, like using a number, like numeric to represent, to change it or everything. But sometimes maybe you only just like want to add certain permission or like remove certain permission, change it, but without changing all of them, then you can also do it in this way. So when you look at some online document, they will know, okay, so what they're doing. And for O equals to X, O is the others. That means the global, and then equals to X. That means like all the others group will assign the execute. That's it. So if I put the like equals to out of X, that means like I will assign read, write, execute, write. Good. So we can, and also right here you can see like we use the comma to change all the groups. Like right here, the first one I will add the user when the execute write, and then global I remove the writing and let the others only have a read. If I doing like this, so what's the final numeric weight of this file? So what's the number, the 3 digits? If you look at this. Just assuming in the beginning it's all 0. What's the numeric? But actually it's impossible because we have the white minus white. So actually it's not really, we can do it all 0. So I can assume like, let's say 5, then I can add the execute. Yeah, so no, not 5. 5 already have execute white. Maybe I can say like only 4 or 6. Then I can add 1 to be safe. And then that means like original white, maybe 4 or 6 for the user. And then for the group, minus whiting. So for the white will be number 2. So if that means that originally this file at least is 2, then I can minus it. Otherwise I cannot remove. Yeah. Yeah. Well, of course you will minus, but it doesn't have a right. So, and then for others only read only. So I don't really care about what's the original value. So
Yeah.
I only change it to read only. Okay. So here's the permission of it. And here's all the notation example. So you see, and mainly we will see, you will see most of these two, the CMO and CHO. So they are like change the ownership and change the mode. The ownership will be first one come with is the user, and then the next part is they with the come with the user group. So pretty common you'll see it's like under hyphen data. So that one's like really common executing for all those like most of the service we are executing on the cloud. If you see the Nginx, that is what we're using. And the one I didn't tell or like you didn't see, but look at this software. How do you think this action is doing? Like this permission. CH and then GRP. What's GRP?
You're only changing the group from permissions.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So this one is changing the group. Of course, when we change the CHO, then actually we can also change the group too. So actually you can see the function there looks similar. So most of the time we will use like CHMO and CHO to change the user and group. And group unless we really need to change it. And because we just cover, because cybersecurity, so not only the Linux system, but we also cover the Windows. For the Windows, we know we have read, write, execute, and full control. Full control usually is like we grant all the permission. And we have got the access control list, ACLS, so a detail of permission for the user and group, and then management permission. You can just using the file explorer or the ICAP. So that one we can use to check it. So mainly for the permission, for the resources. So let's say the S3 buckets in the AWS, so we always can use that. Or in AWS, the IAM policy is like JSON based. You just need to know what they're using. Assign the role as RBAC is Azure, so it's under Microsoft. So they're different type to assign. Okay. Pretty common issue, like we always have an incorrect permission. So just like prevent the file access, always check and adjust the permission using a Sage mode or the ACL. So if we are using the Windows and unauthorized access, so we just need to check. So we always say the auditing. So review and checking, so we can avoid. That's what we know. And here the example, if like, let's say, like just for exercise, here are the 3 questions if you want to do, and just that you have practice. If let's say I want to change the permission to this one, read, write, execute, read, execute, and read only for example text. So what's the comment? So what's the comment? How to change this file? Yeah, actually you already saw it, but how? Which changing permission comment we are using? Okay, and then, so if I'm using numeric, using a number, so what's the number for this one?
So, oh no, 7, 5. 7, 5.
Yes,
7. Yeah, 7, 5.
4, yes. So this one is 7.5, and then put the file name. So sometimes when you access the file, I know some of you may be confused, and also when you really using the EC2, maybe you sometimes I saw you kind of lost. You don't know, like sometimes I put the path, or sometimes you just like put the file name. So always check when in the command line, if you're using CD, that means CD is change your directory. So if you really go to the folder of that file, then you can directly use the file name. Sometimes you tap it, you'll see. Okay, but sometimes if I using the actual path, so like from the source SRV and then slash and then slash example.txt. So that ones I can guarantee, make sure I'm under this, like I can access this file correctly. Yeah. So maybe in my lab or sometimes when I show you, okay, I will just like put the file name. Sometimes I using the like whole path. That means I need to check, like depends on the location where I am. Yeah, sometimes I'm under the home file, the home, and then under Ubuntu, this home directory of this user account. Then if I need to access other files from other directory, then I need to either using CD to change it. But sometimes here's the problem, because we don't have a permission to change to those folders. If we don't have a permission, what can we do? Then we can use an absolute directory to grant access of that file or change it. And how about this one? Because I jump a little bit faster, if you still remember RWS, and then R-X, R-T. So this one, we use the special we have a special permission. So look at the S it belongs to. So it's the same. So we using a chmod or chmod, and then so what's the number? What's the numeric? It comes out from the previous slide actually. If we look at this one, So what was this one? If you don't go back to the slides. What's the original form? Original one should be RWX, and then R-X, and then R-XQ. So if you look at here, when we talk about the special, so for the location, it's still the same. The numbers still the same. So, but only one like T represent the sticky bit. Okay, and when we said the one S in the first one, if we change it, so it will be 4. So if you see the S in the first letter, so it will be like the user group. So it will be 4. So if you see the S, like R-S, like RWX, R-S, so it will be belongs to the group. So the number should be 2. Okay, so this like the how it looks like. And then sometimes I say, okay, the sticky bit, then sticky bit is the last one. So this one, just like telling you, the last one will be the for the others. Like in the assignment or like right here, we already tell you clearly, okay, which one need to like set the sticky bit, or like which one you need to change, like set special permission to the user ID or group. So don't have to worry or confuse. But sometimes when you look at it, then you need to know, okay, if I change it, then you need to convert it back. Okay. So right now we will try to practice to changing the numeric. I post, if you go to D2L, discuss right here. So most of the time, if you have a question, like something, you will see the question right here. I give you 5 examples. So this one, it doesn't include the special permission. So I give you 5 questions, so you can post your answer to discuss. If you answer it, you don't have to, but can get bonus. So if you want to reply, then you can give your bonus point if you. And even when now I will let you to practice your sometimes to answer these 5 questions, and then when you're okay, then you can just like post it, reply to this one. So read it and see, or like after I give you maybe 10, around like 10 minutes, then you can finish this part. Yeah, try to do this 5 questions. If you look at the background, like I give some description, then which was the numeric and also where's the symbolic permission of this. And let me enlarge it if it's too small. So let's say soon. Okay. So will be. Okay. Yeah, for the discussion, like if you post it, because I give you some time, if you want to answer, you can answer it. So more like interaction, so I know it's participation, so it's just like after for the, by the end of semester, I need to submit your grade, so after you like finish your midterm, submit your assignment. So it depends on this one, so I will give you some extra bonus credit for it. Mhm. Yep. Reply to it. You can just reply is okay. Yeah, just like put 1, 2, 3. Yeah, all the answer, like the number and then the what and the numeric and also the symbolic. Yeah, just like you just reply to it. Yeah. The subject line. Yeah, you can just provide permission. Yeah.
Were we writing out like the actual commands and stuff, or just the numerical and symbolic?
Only the numeric. I would recommend if you're able to do that, also put that like on it. Yeah. So then I know, okay, you know all those like. Mainly I'm asking for the numeric and symbolic, but if you can do more than that, then of course, please do, yes. Yeah.
I just wanted to like ask. You were saying the connection with the stuff.
So what are we doing after that? I will explain. So after that,
As I was just trying to understand how this goes for the easier here. I just want to make sure it's the same thing. It's just like it's like
for the like from the for something only talk about. So if I didn't mention, somehow we pursue just representing the 40, if I didn't mention, it's like actually it's not really. So I'm not really out of the as a good spectrum. And we didn't mention before. Then if we I didn't actually ever need to like the special if you like say okay I give you the answer is the 40. With that special definition, then you need to put C even a situation that I right here I give you it, I didn't mention something about special definition. And I say this will be deal with this or that stops one is the less 0 or the but yeah, it will show you this is exactly. So if I didn't say it because I didn't two things. So but most of the time I used to tell you the line with the second user ID and then we can use the second. No, it's for the second so you see that yeah, so numeric and symbolic. So if you are able to give me something. That's true. Also, you can show through now. Because the student asked about because sometimes we talk about 3 digits and 4 digits or like 10 digits symbolic. So don't worry about that. If I will already tell you the guideline, or like maybe in the coming assignment, actually one more assignment is about this one. So you don't, even if in the exam I ask you, I will tell you, okay, please like using 4-digit or like 10-digit numeric, then just like use the 10-digit. But for this question, I didn't ask you using the special permission, right? Then what should you do? So if I ask you like without special permission, but I need to use 4-digit numeric, then what should we do? Yes. Because the first one is nothing, right?
So it'd be 0.
Yes, just put a 0. So if I have a 755, I put a 055. 0755. And how about numeric? So what's the, normally, which one are we using? How about
Be part of the owner, so
333, but the first one will be for the special permission. So the first one is empty, nothing will be. I get it. So if for 10-digit, it will be like this. Let's say read, write, execute, read, write, execute, read, write, execute. So it will be like this. So here will be 10-digit. So first one I put a hyphen in the beginning. Okay. So will be numeric will be 0755. Okay. It's pretty common. You will see that maybe too small. Okay, you were able to see. So I will replace it with, so it will show like 10-digit without a special. So I will ask you like this one just if I didn't really say it, then just look at the question. So unless I say we do have a special permission, then remember to. So this one is mainly for the like assignment or exam purpose. I will give you the guidance, so don't worry about it. Yeah, of course, like in reality, you always have a background or like situation provide to you. Then based on the situation, you need to consider, okay, should I set a special permission for it or not? Okay.
Okay, so when it says like 10-digit, then that mean, so it's going through each like read, write, execute plus the special.
Yes, yeah, in the beginning of the first one, yeah.
So even though we only put like 755, it's actually saying, okay, 421 and then 4141. Or, and then you also have the 0 in there. 4.
It's a first.
I think it's just because we only write four numbers, but it's
Yes.
10-digit, so it goes special permission,
Yes.
and then read, write, execute for the user, read, write, execute, or read, write, execute.
Yes.
So that's what makes this sense.
Yes, yeah, has the special one in the beginning.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then that one special permission applies. So that special one is only going to be 4, 2, or 1, or it could be like 7.
Yes, yeah. So if mainly we don't really put the sticky bit on it because sticky bit I stay with the last one that we place. Mainly the override will be user and the group will apply. Oh, of course, we do have one only if we only have a sticky bit will be 1. And if we say like set the group ID, then the first one will be 2. And if we only set the user ID, so only 4. So if you see like only 4, 1, 4, 2, 1, like only them, so you will see S, and then SS, and then or T. If like I put them all together, user group, then just like add them together. Yeah.
Do you have to be able to read in order to write or execute?
This is a good question. Anyone? Okay. Yes. Can I execute without a read permission?
Don't you basically, if you just write into a file you can't read, you just delete what's there and start putting your own content into it?
Here's the question, because if you in the beginning trace back, like looping back to in the beginning, I ask you like what's read, so what's the execute? Okay. So for read, that means I can see the file, right? So here's the here's the like cause and result. Okay, execute, that means I can execute this file, but I don't have a right to read. So can I execute this one without the permission to read it? Do you think it makes sense? So,
So you would need to be able to read.
okay, so I love to let you to do the experiment. Okay, will you waste this one? So, after you finish this part, so I let you to do the experiment because they ask a question say, without the read permission, can I execute? Okay, so I say here's just like the cause and result because the read like from a definition like from also the lab you say if I grant the read permission that means I able to see it. I able to see it doesn't mean I can execute it, right? Open this file. Okay, so I need to grant the access. It's like execute. Then I can like, open this file, or if it's a script, then I can run it, right? So here's the if I going back, can I give the execute permission without a written permission? Yes. So I would like to let you do experiment, create a file, and then set it only to execute without it. So please tell me the result. Share it to others. I can do it with the.
I would assume, so
Mhm.
whenever we were doing, our computer architecture,
Mhm.
there were certain processes, specifically ones that started with an underscore that, were hidden from us,
Mhm.
but we were still able to use them, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
So it would make sense to me that we would still be able to execute and write without being able to see,
Mhm. Mhm.
if that makes sense.
Okay. You already figure out one thing, yeah, because you know we have some file is hidden to even to the group or like even the. Yeah, even you do have an admin account, you don't have a read permission, so you remove it. Nah, not the root permission that they remove. Okay. You can.
Like
you
operating
got it.
system stuff, especially.
Okay, yes. So that means if you say this, that means you got it. You got it. Okay. But I don't know others. Okay. If you don't know it, then you can do experiment. And then if you try this one, tell me.
Yeah.
So how does it go into that? So I have like the original CSCI
Because we know the name.
and it only has text. So what I try to do like the cat.
That was, it was
Yeah.
pretty late.
Or would you
Oh,
not-
try to remove that.
They were made operating system or even they were like timer, it was something like.
Okay, so that's. I'm assuming that's-
I don't remember exactly.
But
what they
I'm
were
supposed to
saying,
like
but Yes.
It
It was like French. I think it was French. Or, yeah, it was something. I can find out what it was. But.
Because I read this thing.
Here, I got my.
So it
Yeah.
for we find out is that you would like to open the seat. So when I get
Probably.
but for certain like
Let me find out. I've got my files.
also you know like under the file sometimes we have some there and there. So you don't know if sometimes high say you don't have permission to see.
Oh,
But yeah, it's
the modular
high
function.
as a service.
You
Then
can
one
remember
they
a function
also
can only
return
return one thing.
like they say the model extension, so
So
they
they
are
have
how
to-
to execute, but they're not open to let you see. Yeah. So it's.
It returns, the remainder.
Yes, that makes sense in like, in the sense of like a script.
Yes.
Because you don't need to see the script, you just let it run.
Well, yeah, also, yeah, you, for other, sometimes it may be only the, I could be pretty sure. Because the concept, is you know the name. Because you are the, now, so even you create the, you are not a good at. You are still like another separate, yeah. But you maybe, you will set yourself the user account as an admin.
The remainder is how many times.
Yeah, you will pick up, so I will wait this question for the next, unless somebody can pick up. Yeah. If you know the hidden file, then you know, okay, so. I would like to, how many of you finish the 5 questions? And I will like ask them to take a turn, then share your answer. So. For the first one, so you are working on the Unix or Linux system and need to set up a directory where only the user has like full access. And while the group and others can read the files. So what's this permission? Anybody willing to share? Okay, yeah.
744.
Say it, 744? Okay, so 7 is which category? Just revision. What's the 7 represent? Is under which category? We say the category within the user. Okay, so and then because like we got a full access represent the read write execute, and so we have the read the file only, so read only would be 4, so 744. Yeah, so what's the symbolic? Yeah. Yes, what's the symbolic? So what's the symbolic? Looks like only 9 digits.
RWX,
Yes, correct. Okay. So easy, right? Pretty easy. So if you know the logic is here, and then situation 2, and you have the file that should be readable by the owner only and should not be accessed by anyone else. How about this one? Right.
Oh, right. Oh, okay, right.
Yeah. And then 3. So that's okay. You need a file to be readable and executable by everyone, but only readable by the owner. How about this one? By everyone. And only readable by the owner. So how about this? Everyone. How about everyone? If I say everyone, what does it mean? Represent. So we have the user group and others. Others, that means also equals to everyone. So actually just look at the word. So if I say everyone, that means others. So it would be no good right here.
So everyone doesn't.
But
imply
we say the
group
group,
or
yeah,
user, it's just
okay,
us.
yeah. Because slightly confusing because like everyone, so I replace it others. So if you like okay, user, it means user. And then I tell you if there's a group, there's a group over there. Okay. So if there's a everyone, it's representing the.
So it's gonna be a 205 then?
Okay, yeah. Because for the writable, that means the owner have only number 2, write only. And we didn't mention about group. So like for the permission, is it possible? It can be written and executed by everyone. And I say for the group, they have no permission to do anything. It still works, right? But for everyone, that means that the global can do anything. They can read and execute this file, and then I will modify. The user can modify. Only the owner owner of this file can modify the content. And then for others, they can read. But for the owner itself, can they read it? No, just like I can write the file, then replace it, but I cannot read the content. So you say, does it not make sense?
It seems, I get most of it now. To me, it still seems weird to be able to have write permission, but not.
Okay.
Well, is that pretty much saying like, okay, you can't. Like, you just basically make a new file and put it over the old file, but you can't actually look at the file.
Yes, correct. That's what I was asking.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, because I think like to you, you may like if look at the instruction, maybe it looks like so weird. I say, how can we only write without read? That means like you can open it, you don't know it, but you can create a new file and like put it open or replace it. I say then replace it. Yes, you can replace it, but you are not allowed to read the content. But sometimes for privacy, let's say maybe this file I save some like old password, like maybe some access key or like certain information. I don't want to let you to know what's the previous information or data I saved or I used before. But I let you to override. I can let you to create a new one. But depends on your purpose. But it's possible to do that, like create a file permission. Yeah, it looks maybe real, but maybe in certain situation we can do it in this way. So, what's the number? Not the symbolic for this one. So we know it's the 205. 206. This one is 205. Yes. Okay. So what's the 205?
Tag, R, tag, X.
Okay. Right. Okay. Pretty easy one. This one. Okay. And then 4, you want to grant the read and write permission to the owner and the group and read only permission to other for a file. How about this one? So this one would be owner and group. So it would be 6, 6, 4. Okay. So what's the symbolic? Yes.
RW tag, RW, R tag, W, R tag.
W tag, W tag, and then R. Okay, yes. Okay, and last one. So you're setting up a script that can be executable by everyone, but only writable by the owner. Okay. Pretty similar to the question 3. No. Or 2. So how about this one? So for everyone, only execute. Execute would be tag or the -, X, right? This one is for the other group. And how about the group? For the other category, how about the group? The group is nothing. Okay, so tag that or like happen. Okay, and then only writable by the owner. So it would be you say it's 201 and
Or 201.
201. Yeah, because write is number 2, right? And then for the group, nothing, 0. And for the it's the execute is 1. So it's 201. Yes, correct. Yeah. And here's the question. So I already go through all the answers. So okay, yeah. So suppose you are able to answer. So
And these are all pretty much like chmod situations, right? Where you're.
Yes,
you're
yes.
just changing.
yeah, we didn't change. Yeah. And this one mainly is because I have to go through the file permission. Yeah. maybe for the maybe assignment or the exam, some like question I need to write it, then I will change the question, not only file permission. So the situation maybe will change, like you need to let the user or create a user or language user to have a right to do something. Then maybe you need to execute two of it. So you need to put a commit format. Then let's say I will allow you to using the numeric or symbolic to do it. So either one, or like I will ask you, like you have to using both. So based on the question, okay, and pretty similar. So if you know the logic in behind or like how we do it, then that's all your for your assignment and or like you will see other question type in the exam or assignment. Okay. And right here, if you already answer it, then you can post to discuss. Then for the because I will grade get the final grade. So for this like kind of like is a interaction of yours. So if you post it, then I will check it later. Okay. Actually, I still have more questions. So right here, if you're interested, if we go through all these questions, then you will see it. And I will also like provide with detailed explanation in the PowerPoint. So if you want to check more examples, then you can check. But because if you get the logic, actually they're really similar. So you see right here. So here is the if you get a read write and execute. So all the formats look like the same. Just like mainly if you look at it, it's easy. But sometimes if I give you a situation, you may confuse. But remember, like for this question, I'm not setting a threat to you. Say, okay, just mainly you see the name, say, I use everyone, maybe set the user, there's a group. So it's impossible I use other names. So just be careful of it, and then that's it. You're enough. So if we I asked like how can we grant it? So if you see get the execute permission, maybe I will ask you like what's the A plus X? What it means? If you don't look at it. So where's the A plus X? Yes, opposite. So if you remember the letter we have, what are the 4 letters? Like for the categories. Not the one. The character is for the user category. Or yes, all we were using A. So sometimes if you see in this one say for all users, some that may be confused, like English, the letter is all user, that means like the user itself, the group, also the global, or like we say that others or everyone can do that. Yeah. So if you remember the operator pass, so I say all of them we will get the access right here. So in Windows, then how can we get the full control? So we know just the letting rewrite execute. So we can change the permission over there, just like check it, full control permission. For Windows, we are not using command line. We do it just using the property. So we are not going to discuss it. So just let you know. And we change the owner, that change CH own. So we change the owner. And also, how can we change the group? If I have a question, ask you, how can we change it? How can we change the owner and also the group? Then how can we do it? And refer to the we did have used it before. So suppose the question, I didn't really tell you, okay, this one will be showing in the assignment or exam. But when I say ask you, then you need to recall the memory, say, okay, what the comments we are using, and then what they are using for. Then you will know how to do it. And right here, the ICAL, we can check it. And here's the question, like, how can I change the 755 file names right here doing? Then no, okay, so I changed the owner can read, write, execute. So everything is so similar. So if you want, you can just refer to the slides. So I like, before we go, then I can go through and then restrict. If we need to restrict the access of the file for Windows, just remove all the permission. For others, group user, just leave it for the owner itself, for the owner. And then also like purpose like 600 is read and write, so the owner can do the read write only. For others, no permission. And here I didn't really talk about, we barely use it. So the mask, so you mask. So this one is like we have a default permission. But when we put the one, let's say we have a default permission 755, and then if I use like umask 022, so it's actually kind of called the minus. So if I have I put the umask 022, so what does it mean? Guess.
So the default is 777, so it subtracts.
Yes. Correct. Yeah. So that means like in the whole operation, we can see like we can use the plus operator, minus operator, equals operator, or you can use the minus to like minus from the default permission. So here's the same. And then when we get the user group, if for the user, here, if you remember when we need to create the user, like the assignment, we can using the command like add user. When you do the add user, actually we didn't I think it didn't really ask you, but you need to know like if I want to assign this user to certain user group, then you can use the command like user mode -a g group, and then give the group name and then which user you want to assign to. And sometimes you need to get the admin right. Let's say if you don't have admin rights, then you need to using sudo to grant it because you're not using the root. Okay. And here, so I care because like for Windows, so I just let you see because we are not really focused on the Windows. We just like click on it. So Windows, then nothing to say. Okay. And right here, if I want to like get the read only and accept the owner, so it would be 644 read write and execute write like this. And then the ACL. So as ACL is the list associated with the file. But I'm not really asking Windows because they're not related, but just need to know. And how to make a file executable or files. So it would be A plus execute. So here's the question like, it cannot be allowed to read to the user, but it's possible to execute for everyone. So you can see. And last one, when we change the group, so here we'll be using the change group and execute. That's it. And last one, CMO event. So we move all the last one is that if I want to remove it, I can use the 000, assign of them. So none of them can access it. Remove all the permission. So here's the last one. And that's it for today's lab. Any questions?
You can specify a little more what the special permissions are. So
Yeah.
set I get that's
Group ID, yeah. So you will see the S in behind. And also, actually, this one more is capital S. You will see the capital S too. But for today's lab is introduced. I don't want to confuse you. Like, yeah.
So if we don't have information, like, you know, does it have like outlier? If you add in everything else on. You know, just process. All right. If you're in like the group like developer.
But let's say that. If you're in that group. Hold outside. I want that.
Like, if you look at the, if you look at the permission, that's gonna be like, how you might get it done. Yeah, like, for everyone.
Really, I just did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my grandparents have a cabin, that's just park. You know, the big Thompson River up there, their cabin is about 8 feet from, so you walk out the back door, and it's just there, it's there, we walk a few feet, and you're looking down into it.
Yeah, we won't, yeah.
It's,
Also, like.
I don't remember the name of the road, I don't remember the address of the cabin, I just remember I always search for the Dun Raven Inn, which is an Italian restaurant that was out there. And it was it's the one that always had like, they used to have tons of dollars.
It's ridiculous. I don't think you as a.
It's when you go down, you know, there's like this big like lake place deal where there's like big slides and stuff. If you go around the curve and keep going past that, I think there's like
Yeah.
a donut shop or like that you can buy too, like some little tiny. Side of a shed that's there. If you keep going down that road, it goes off to the right a little bit. Cabin is eventually on the left. And they have this little island thing that the river splits around, it's kind of shaped like a teardrop. And it's just, it is gorgeous, and it doesn't matter if it's summer or winter, it's just beautiful in a different way. And it's funny because it starts getting dark at around like 3:30 in the afternoon there, because the mountains are so high, it's just the sunset's like, oh, it's gone.
Yep.
But it's one of my favorite places. It's just gorgeous.
It's
Like, I miss it terribly. I can't get Elizabeth to want to spend like 4 days in the car out of a week. Yeah, because I always used to stop. I made 2 days out, but I stopped in Amarillo. Yeah. And
If the owner, I don't belong to.
reached the way the next morning.
And the owner can be also. But I have an owner right, so I.
Yeah.
So pretty. So if the owner.
The last time I went,
I don't have a right.
the weather would like the forecast kept getting like worse and worse. It was super treacherous. Like in Texas, the weather here was worse than it was in Colorado. I remember Thanksgiving Day, instead of spending with my family, I was laying under my Jeep getting rained on, taking my exhaust. And because the next day I was leaving.
Yeah, then you have access to everything.
Everything, yes,
Okay, so it will restrict access or you can somehow.
somehow, yeah, so if you want to say like, I don't want to, let someone do the access is file. For a second, is it really happen? Yes.
But it's a really weird situation.
Yeah, so I don't let this one to access, yeah, sometimes I would say we let certain group to access it, it more like makes sense, like a common behavior, yeah.
So I have
Yep.
work, so we're to make it to a web program interface design today.
Yeah.
I saw you posted a .js file.